Yeah, generation, baby. Recognize, 'cause I'm a monster. Yeah, let's get it. I realize my position in this business.
What up, mi gente? It's your boy J-Mac the Monster, coming to you live from the Monster headquarters. I'd like to invite you all to my very first video session, J-Mac Speaks. If you want to find me on the internet, I'm on Facebook at The Monster J-Mac, M-A-K, just make a killing. On Twitter at J-Mac the Monster, and on Instagram at J-Mac Music. Remember, that's J-M-A-K. I'd like to give a shout out to AOS, my new DJ fam that I'm rocking with. Shout out to CMS Music Group. Also the producers I have the privilege of working with, Nick Swole, Mello, Dre Star, and my boy MC, the producer in Riverside, California. So the Michael Brown case, no doubt a terrible tragedy that I'm sure everybody is aware of by now. Something that I've noticed that a lot of people are not keeping in mind is that there are two different kinds of suffering going on here. We have an officer who, no matter how much he plays the tough guy role in front of or away from media cameras, will have to deal with a deep guilt for the rest of his life in this system. No matter, there's nothing he can do about it. He has to endure that. But worst of all, we have a young man who's lost his life. We will never know of the dreams or aspirations that he had for his future. He'll never get the opportunity to live in adulthood, possibly even have his own family. So two major factors that I notice that people are not keeping in mind. One is that a crime was committed by Michael Brown that led to Officer Wilson approaching him. There's no denying that this crime was committed. It's on video camera. No one else can say that it never did occur. But we have people, especially those with a racist opinion, who say things such as, his parents should have raised him better. They should have taught him better. It's their fault for raising a thug. That is nonsense. Children are going to be children, and parents can raise their children the best way possible that they can for them, with or without using God's word. But children grow up. They become teens. We've all been there. I've been there as well. They become teens, they establish their own identity, they start to think independently for themselves. That's what they're taught to do. Unfortunately, it's no guarantee that any child will use the good moral training that they were taught and brought up with. I'm sure Michael Brown's parents did not give him the impression that it was okay for him to commit the crime that he did. I mean, the kid was scheduled to attend school, college, at a technical school very soon, so what could have steered him wrong? Maybe it was wrong thinking from the environment that he was growing up in. Maybe it was peer pressure. We're not sure. But remember that the senseless act that he committed in that convenience store is what kicked off this tragedy. A second factor that a lot of people are leaving out is that Ferguson, Missouri is another U.S. small town which is regularly drowning in racial profiling, other acts of racism, injustice from the so-called justice system that's in place there. And there's just a lack of love and consideration and humility among the people there and the neighboring communities. If you're a person who has never endured racial profiling regularly, I mean not just one time, but if you've never regularly had to endure racial profiling, or even grew up in an environment where it occurs regularly, you probably should not be expressing your opinion on the matter. We have to face it. Racism still exists. Racism leads to racial profiling by some in law enforcement. So that profiling leads to frustration, it leads to aggravation, and even feelings of hatred from those who are victimized by it. And so that is the perfect recipe for a cops versus civilian situation. And it usually initiated from racial profiling. So it's no surprise that the Ferguson community initially cried out racial profiling when this situation occurred. The ill treatment of people in that town has a long history from law enforcement. You listen to the people who speak there, people who speak out publicly, and you'll notice there's not been one person, one individual who's come forward publicly in support of law enforcement there and how they handle things and how they're so good to the community. You've never heard of it, so I'll let y'all do the math on that one. So those two factors, we need to keep those in mind. A crime was committed that led to an altercation and led to a young teen losing his life in the end. Another man stuck with guilt for the rest of his life. But because it occurred in a place such as Ferguson, Missouri, some questions arise. I mean, could Officer Wilson have tased Michael Brown instead of using his gun? Could he have just injured him? instead of shooting him to prevent him from causing a threat to the officer's health. I mean, the teen was unarmed, and officers are taught special tactical training when they're at the academy, correct? So with that in mind, it does make you wonder, did racism play a part in Officer Wilson's thinking when he took extreme action on an unarmed teen? So where do we go from here? One thing that we should not do is tell non-white children that their life doesn't matter or that their life has no value in this country. They are children, they are teens, they are people who are inexperienced at life. Imagine how that would affect their thinking. My life has no value. Okay, why should I pursue an education? Why should I even obey the law? Why even obey school officials? And even at worse, it could get to the point to where they feel, why should I even obey my parents if my life has no value? That message is destructive. We live in an era of gimme, gimme children. This new generation seems to carry the thought that everything in life should be handed to them, and everything that they need and want should just be easily handed over with no effort. We need to educate these children, keep them informed and understanding why and how the world turns the way that it does. We need to move in that direction of teaching. If we can do that, we'll have less Trayvon Martin situations. We'll have less James Holmes situations, random shootings, school shootings, less disrespect for law enforcement, and we'll have less Michael Brown situations. So we need to be active in these children's lives, educate them, discipline them accordingly. Don't poison them with the thought that they're not valuable, because that will kill their will to make a difference in this world. So those are the things I wanted to share with y'all about this tragic situation. I saw many different factors that people through social media, the internet, and even from journalistic point of views are leaving out these factors. And so I hope that these things weigh on your heart and that you all consider them. I appreciate y'all tuning in for my first session, JMAK Speaks. In the near future, I'll keep y'all updated on my music progress and everything that I'm doing. It's a slow grind, but hey, somebody's got to do it. So thank y'all for supporting the monster. Find me on the internet. I'll see y'all next session. I'm out.
New Blood Production. Blood and Bone. JMAK. It is what it is, man. We out.